Welcome everyone to the New Fly Fisher. I'm your host, Bill Spicer. On today's show, we're doing something different. We're traveling by rail along the Algoma Canyon on the Algoma Central Railway. We'll be visiting 3 of the many different destinations that are available along the line. Species we'll be targeting are Atlantic salmon, smallmouth bass, and walleye. Come ride with me on this most excellent adventure. It's gonna be a great one.
Let him go back to live another day.
And away he goes. Great fish. Wow.
Oh, baby. Look at that fish.
Stop, wiggle, on the way down.
The New Fly Fisher has been made possible thanks to Algoma Kinawabi Travel Association, Ontario Tourism, Islander Precision Reels, and Orvis Sporting Traditions.
This week we find ourselves in one of my favorite areas in North America to fish, Algoma country. Our mode of travel will be mainly by rail. The Algoma Central Railway line winds its way through the heart of 22,000 square miles of recreational wilderness, starting in Sault Ste. Marie and finishing in Hearst. There are 15 different lodges situated in the region along the line, each offering an experience unique to its own location. Enjoy fishing, hunting, wildlife viewing, hiking, swimming, boating, and most anything you can do outdoors can be done in this area. As the train pulls up to your stop, your host will be there to welcome you and to help you get settled in the next part of your wilderness adventure. This is an inexpensive alternative to flying into a remote lodge. Also, there is no restriction on how much luggage and equipment you may bring along. My first stop is Totomenai Lodge. After a very relaxing ride to mile 165, I got off at Hawk Junction, where I met up with my host and lodge owner, Frank Charbonneau, and after a short car ride, we made it to the lodge. These waters offer some of the best walleye, northern pike, smallmouth bass, and lake trout fishing in northern Ontario. My guide is Frank's son, Rolly Charbonneau, whom has been a guide on this lake system for many years and knows it completely. Now, the technique that I'm using here with a popper, you cast it out like so. Get it out there. Now, you must leave it until the rings dissipate. From when it's set down, once they dissipate, then pop it.
Oh, yeah.
Just about just about set it into your face, Brian. Sorry. Oh, it's a good fish too.
Right on.
You're dead right, Rolly. Got a little bit of shallower water here, and this guy's coming up. A little bit of shallower water. Decided to put on a popper. So, oh, it's a good fish. Yeah. It's a very nice fish. Anybody's standards is a nice fish. I got to get him away from this log. Oh boy, look at him.
You don't want to come in.
Wowee. Very nice fish. And I picked a black-colored one. Here he comes. Black-colored popper because of the color of the sky. I love poppers and smallmouth. They just seem to go together. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, now look at that. Now that's about as nice a smallmouth as you're going to find. That is 15 inches, maybe 16 at the most. But very nice fish, very nice fish. Now, let him go. Oh, and away he goes. That was a professional release. Anyway, that's number one. It's the first evening we're here. The water is calm, so we had to play around. I've tried fishing deep, I've tried fishing a little bit higher. Rolly suggested we come into this bay that he knew that there would be some fish, so we decided to go with a popper, and it worked. I've been 5 minutes with this popper, so I'm gonna try that again. Check my knot, like always, especially after you get a good fish like that. Double check your knots. And that's just take your finger and run it along there. And that seems to be good. I can go along with this knot again. If you got any nicks, you'll feel it in your finger. If you got any kind of nicks, retie. Break it off and retie. Otherwise, you're gonna lose a big fish.
Only 10% of the water at any given time possesses a combination of ideal characteristics such as temperature, oxygen content, structure, food, and cover that bass will be seeking under prevailing water and weather conditions. The overwhelming majority of bass will be found in that 10% of the water. When trying to locate any bass, you must think structure. This structure may be an underwater hump, the edge of a weed line, a felled tree or brush pile, an isolated rock, or anything man-made such as a dock. Bass are extremely object-orientated. There's a saying, you may find structure that is not holding bass, but you will never find a bass without structure.
This is our 26th season this year. Started the lodge up, bought it as a camp that was retired from a gentleman out of Chicago, and it used to be called Kanika Lodge. There was no business with it or equipment, or there was a lot of work to be done with the camp. And so what I decided to do is start afresh, name it a new name, something original to the area, like Totomenai. It's the name of a chief, the last Ojibwe chief that reigned in this area and gave all this land away to the British in the 1800s. So the waterways that we're on right now is on the old Voyager canoe route that goes all the way to Hudson Bay. So I thought that was appropriate to name the lodge Totomenai Lodge.
Something after, right, did you see it come out? He come out, that thing came 10 feet. That thing came 10 feet. Boy. Oh yeah, I like this area you brought us there, Rolly. I like it a lot.
We got him on the second take.
On the second take, here we go. There. Now that's a smaller fish, but still, it's a decent fish. Oh yeah, that I seen come out of the wood. There was a wake behind my fly, and I think I said, here he comes. That was fantastic. Oh yeah. Oh, and away he goes. Oh. Now I gotta check my knot again. Again, I say that a lot, but I can't stress it enough. Check your knot every time you catch a fish, because you could have put a nick in it, and then that'll be the time that you get the biggest fish of your life, and you'll lose it because of that.
After my visit at Totomenai Lodge, owner Frank Charbonneau brought me back to Hawk Junction to wait for the train for the next leg of my trip. My next stop is Arrington's Wilderness Island Lodge, located a further 1.5-hour train ride down the track. Situated on 2 secluded islands on Lake Wabatongashi, the second largest lake in the Chapleau Game Preserve. Our host is lodge owner Albert Arrington, an easygoing, soft-spoken man, and he's on a mission to make your stay with him unforgettable. My guide for this trip is Brad Fantham. Don't let his young age fool you. He's one of the most knowledgeable walleye fishers I've met. Brad stated that he marked a good fish on the sonar and to expect a hit.
Same spot always. Yes, sir. I had to add a fly that has a stinger hook on it. I was getting a lot of short hookups and missing the fly, so I put a fly on that has 2 hooks, one following back. See what we got here in a second. It looks like a walleye to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a small walleye. Oh, missed it.
There we go.
Nice.
Okay, pass her down here.
That's a nice walleye. 18 inches.
Now, straighten your hand out. Your left hand, that's it. Very good, okay.
A beauty indeed.
And away he goes. Now that hit differently than a pike. It was sort of just almost like a pull, like not a hit, it was like a weight all of a sudden on your fly. And that's when I set the hook, and it turned out to be a walleye. So let's try that again. I'm using a sinking line. I gotta get down 4 or 5 feet, and I have to get down 4 to 5 feet. If you don't get down that far, I don't think that's where they're feeding is 4 to 5 feet down. So that's how far you gotta get down. So let's try it again.
Walleye are one of the most popular game fish in North America. Part of the perch family, walleye are often unpredictable, are constantly on the move, and will bite like crazy one day, but then disappear for no apparent reason the next day. They have big marble-like eyes that have a layer of reflective pigment in the retina. This gives walleye a built-in advantage. They can see well in dim light, but their most common prey, yellow perch, cannot. Our strategy for this morning was first to get on the water at daybreak when the walleye are feeding the heaviest. Then we allow the boat to drift over top of weed lines and drop-offs. Walleye like structure such as weed lines as they attract bait fish, and they are also attracted to drop-offs. It allows the walleye to go deeper and stay out of the bright light after they feed. The technique I'm using is the same as spin fishers who are using a jig. It's a systematic jerking of the line to make the fly go up and then down. Walleye always seem to hit when the fly is falling.
Fish on, yes sir. Don't know how big it is. Just feels small again.
Got a walleye.
It's a walleye. Well, that's good. Pass her over here.
Pass her over to Bill.
And nice small walleye. If you're into eating walleye, this will probably be the perfect eating size. So that's a good start. It's a good start. It's early morning. We've been out probably 15 minutes, so that's good. Minnow patterns are the day's choice. And I'll show you right now what it is. It's called a deceiver, or a lefty's deceiver, and it imitates a small minnow. And this is what they're feeding on right now. So that's one. Let's see if we can do it again. And I have to retie because I got a nick. Walleye do have teeth, so yeah, you gotta check. I got a nick right there.
The last leg of my trip I was most excited about, as I was to fish for Atlantic salmon. We took the train all the way back to Sault Ste. Marie. I wanted to make this part of my trip as economical as I could, so I decided to book myself a room and hire my own guide for the day. I would recommend hiring a guide for at least a day, as the rapids can be treacherous if it's your first visit. You can only access the rapids from the Canadian side, and your first impression is the rapids appear quite intimidating. This is not the case though. The St. Mary's River drains Lake Superior into Lake Huron, with the rapids only a minor 2/3 of a mile of its length by a 1/4 of a mile wide. The riverbed is bedrock, boulders, rubble, gravel, and sand. Perfect spawning grounds for fish. The rapids are divided into two by a cement dike that runs its length. Inside the dike are quite wadeable waters with pools, runs, and riffles.
Ooh, there we go.
There we go. Nice fish.
Just a small one. Well, look at how high it
the
jumps.
jump to that. Good job,
Look at
Bill.
how high.
Good job, Bill.
Now this is something else. This is a small fish, but he's certainly giving a good account of himself.
That line just hit the water.
Just hit the water, down it went. We're using a caddis emerger type of fly, the same that you would use trout fishing. Now, get him some control, yeah. It's just a little guy, little
nice
grills,
trout.
but whoa,
Oh, I think that's a big rainbow.
is it?
Yeah.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a rainbow. Wow.
Nice. That's what's nice about the St. Mary's. While you're fishing Atlantics, you always got the rainbows for a bonus.
But I've never seen a rainbow jump like that before, though.
In water this warm.
Yeah. There we go. And this is a
No,
decent
that isn't
rainbow.
Atlantic.
It is an Atlantic,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm sorry, it is a grills.
Like I was going to say, I've never seen a rainbow jump like that. I've seen Atlantics. Now, this is quite a tiny one.
Yeah, I've never seen an Atlantic this small. That's what threw me off
Yeah.
guard. But good job, Bill. It's an
Thank you.
Atlantic just the same.
Yeah. And I'll get my line out of the way. As you can see, not real big, but did you see how far he jumped up in the air? What a thrill. Okay, well, he's gone. And away he goes. Go on. Well, slimy hand. Smell of skunk is off.
Good
The
job.
smell of skunk is off.
See the jumps on
My
that?
goodness, I just can't get over how high he jumped. That had to go 5 feet in the air.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Now, John, we're here for Atlantic salmon, and right now it's August, but why don't you take us through the seasons of the Sioux Rapids and tell us what we can expect to catch?
Well, normally it starts mid-April for
Right.
steelhead.
Right.
And it stays preferred spawning temperature, that 42, 44, for about 6 weeks. You know, so right into the end of May.
Oh, so you got a good long season
A
for
good
steelhead.
long steelhead season. And then right around the 1st of June, the Atlantics start trickling in. So it kind of overlaps.
Right.
And then Atlantics all summer long, June, July and early August being the peak. And then mid-August, the salmonoids start, Pacific salmon start coming up.
Yeah.
Chinooks come up first, and then the cohos and pinks come up around Labor Day.
Like I say, this is one of my favorite spots in all of North America to fish because of the variety. At any given time of year, there's something here to catch. And it's exciting, it'll test your skills, it's everything you want in stream fishing. The Atlantic Salmon Stocking Program can definitely be considered a success in the St. Mary's River. The Atlantic Salmon Program started in 1987, and since then, somewhere between 40 and 60,000 yearlings are released into the St. Mary's River each year. The adult return numbers have been outstanding, with many fishermen reporting excellent catches. Regulations are not as strict in Ontario in regards to how you angle for them. You may use sinking lines, leaders, and weighted flies. There we go.
Big fish.
Big fish,
Big
yeah.
Atlantic.
Yes, sir.
Bravo, that's the one we were waiting for. Look at the
This
pounding
is a
of
big
that.
one.
Good job, Bill.
Yes, this is a big one.
If he's gonna tear down out of that hole, if that's all he's gonna do, let him go. We'll have to chase him. That's it.
Yeah, he's down and he is officially into my backing. As you can see the orange line going, he's officially into my backing.
See, hopefully that fish will go into that hole and then we'll be laughing. It's just the journey down. I think he's already in that hole. So just follow me, Bill, this way. Then we'll go right to shore and we'll be able to walk you down to that.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It's all right. I just went for a swim. I'm a little embarrassed.
We hit the fish in the big hole upstream. Fish did not stay in the hole, took off downstream, and we had to chase him, as you do in the rapids.
What I'm doing, he's sitting there, and I'm trying to get him to move. If you pluck your line like that, it goes right down into his jaw. He doesn't seem to want to move. It's official. He's gone. That's too bad. Stretched my line real good, had a nice bath. Well, that's the way it is with salmon fishing in the Sioux. It's sometimes rough. I couldn't stop him. He was too big. He went into the rapids, got downstream on me, and then wrapped around a rock.
In the next hole, yeah.
In the next hole down, and in the meantime, I went for a swim, which is a little embarrassing, but
It happens a lot here.
even with my walking staff there, I went for a swim. Slippery rocks, you really got to be careful. Not just fishing opportunities are provided by the Algoma Central Railway. They also provide the outdoor enthusiasts access to incredible wilderness opportunities. From kayaking, canoeing, rock climbing, to hiking, photography, or ATV tours, there are operators who can provide all this for you. Load all your gear, whatever your adventure requires, into the railway baggage car and travel to remote drop-off points along the rail line. From the majestic mountainscapes of the Algoma Highlands to the backcountry of Lake Superior Provincial Park or the wild beauty of Chapleau Game Preserve, the Algoma Central Railway is one truly unique way to experience your wilderness adventure.
There we go.
That's
him.
fish.
That's him.
That's a silverfish too.
That's him.
That's a silverfish. Yes,
That's
sir.
him.
Good call, John.
soon as
Good
he
call.
changed
Look at how
up.
silver he is.
Beautiful chrome, big Atlantic too.
It's not huge, but it's better than what we had.
Bigger than a grill, yeah.
Yeah. He's not even close to being ready yet.
There we go. There's
Oh, yeah,
a nice
that's
jump.
a good fish.
It's a good fish. That's an Atlantic salmon.
Yeah.
Yeah. He hit it hard, boy. You crushed. There we go.
And
Good
yes, sir.
job. Good job.
Right? Which one was it?
That was the caddis emerger.
Caddis emerger. There, and that's a decent Atlantic salmon. This is as much fun as the ones on the East Coast, as far as I'm concerned. They look exactly like it, as far as, you know. Now you can put them out.
There he goes.
And away. We only touched on a few of the fishing opportunities along the railway. I highly recommend you try this unique and relaxing way of traveling to your next fishing destination. For more information on this show and others in our informative series, visit us on the net at thenewflyfisher.com. From all of us here at The New Fly Fisher, thanks for joining us, tight lines, and we'll see you next time.
The New Fly Fisher has been made possible thanks to Algoma Kinawabi Travel Association, Ontario Tourism, Islander Precision Reels, and Orvis Sporting Traditions.